Legend, Steve from Southern Star Review. Today I'm just going through quite a simple video today of mounting the Leupold backcountry Picatinny rail to the top of my Tikka T3X Varmint. It's quite a simple process. Just follow these simple steps and it's a breeze. If you've never done it before, this video is for you, and yeah, it'll just show you that it is quite easy to do. You don't need to be afraid to, you know, have a go at mounting these sort of things to your rifle by yourself. I've decided to marry up my Tikka with a Burris Veracity 3 to 15 by 50 front focal plane scope. It's a beautiful scope. And I'm really looking forward to shooting it on this rifle. I've actually just taken it off my 300 WSM, and yeah, I don't think I'll have any problems with it anyway. Yeah, amazing piece of optics. So I hope you liked the video. Please smash the hell out of that like button, hit subscribe, questions, comments in the bottom, and until next time, stay safe and get your outside on. Okay, so as we said, we've got a Leupold backcountry Picatinny rail. This retails in Australia for around 95 to 100 bucks, depending on where you go. This one's supplied proudly by Johnson's Firearms in Nambour. So quite a simple process. On the top of the receiver of the Tikka T3X Varmint, there are 5 little grub screws. We only want to remove 4 of them, so we want to take out this one, this one, this one, and this one here closest to where the bolt shroud would be. Leave this one here alone. Don't take it out, just leave it there. All right, so just with a small flat blade screwdriver, just taking your time because you don't want to slip off the little grub screws. They're really small, but you don't want to slip off fast and. So we're just going to go ahead and remove these 4 screws. All right, get them out of the way. Simple as that. Then we can go ahead and open the packaging of the Leupold Picatinny rail and remove the rail out of the packet. So there you have it. On the base, you will see an engraved projectile, bullet head, whatever you want to call it. That just basically is your direction. So direction of bullet is obviously direction of the towards the front of your barrel. If you mount it back of your barrel, if you mount it backwards like that, you will see that it comes out past where your bolt shroud would be, which won't let you cycle the bolt. All right, so we just turn that back around the way that it should be, like that. We take out the 4 little grub screws and just drop them into the hole for now, and we'll muck around with that in a second. Okay. So in the packet for the backcountry Picatinny rail, you'll have a little star Allen key. So it's really important just to start off with 1 screw, just get it started, and then go to the other end, and then to the 2 in the middle. Don't ram them all home straight away. All right, so once you've got them all started, you can still see that it's loose. So what we'll do is just nice and gently, just take it down. Well, I'm not using any pressure at all, but you'll feel when it stops, when you'd have to exert more pressure onto that grub screw. Just leave it there for a minute and get the other 4 bolts to the same spot. All right, so we're just going to cruise along, get it there so that it's, when it stops, right, so that, and do all 4 of them like that. Now, Leupold, for this rail, this backcountry Picatinny rail, advised 22 pounds of pressure on these 4 nuts. So you can either guess, which I don't generally, I wouldn't advise to do it, because if you over tighten it, it'll become very, very difficult to get those bolts out in a couple of years' time. If you want to, you know, change your rail or, you know, do any custom modifications to your receiver or anything, it can become a little bit troublesome to get it out without damaging the Picatinny rail. So we'll go over to the fat wrench. It's a torque wrench. It's nice and easy to set up. You just basically pull the end out, rotate it clockwise to give it more pressure, or pull it out, rotate it anti-clockwise to have less pressure, and you've got your little pressure gauge there. So as you can see, we're just over 20 pound of pressure, which is about 22, rough, give or take. So we will start going through that, and you feel that click. It'll just click around once it gets to 22, or, you know, 21 and a half, whatever it exactly is. The wrench will actually just slip out, and you'll hear that spring click, and you won't be over tightening it, and that will be to manufacturer's specifications. All right, so we've started at the front, that one's done. We go to the back. The reason I don't advise to go, you know, start here and just work your way down. If there's anything, you know, slightly out of whack, you could, you know, cause damage to your receiver or the Picatinny rail. It's pretty rare to have happen, but, you know, start at the ends, get them tightened down, go back to the second one at the front, click, same with and you're done. Simple as that. Now, before you go ahead, you know, manning your scope and making it all look awesome, grab your bolt, all right, and cycle the bolt, and make sure that these little grub screws haven't gone too far into the receiver and causing it to catch on the bolt, because that would just be terrible. All right, we remove the bolt again, obviously keeping everything safe and unloaded while we're working on it. And yeah, ensuring that, you know, everything is done safely. All right, so we've got the Burris Veracity. As I said before, it's 3 to 15 by 50 front focal plane. Has a 50mm objective. So the main thing to remember, once you have loosely mounted this onto the Picatinny, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of clearance under your objective. You don't want the objective end of the scope touching the top of the barrel. You want to make sure that you've got at least 1 millimeter of room there. Otherwise, you can and will, it will affect your shooting, whether you're target shooting or whatever. So we've got these little pins here, which we'll just clip in like that. And they're a little bit fiddly when you're doing two of them, so I apologise if you can't see exactly what I'm doing. But the bar that runs underneath, that will actually lock into, you know, the corresponding slots of the Picatinny rail, so that then if you wanted to remove this scope, which I will be doing, and putting the thermal on there, you can remove it safely and put it back in the same position without having to re-sight your rifle in, as long as you don't touch your adjustments on the scope, and it goes back into the same grooves, you will be right as rain. So I like to keep it pretty close. 223 doesn't have very much recoil, so you don't really have to worry about having your lens crack your eyeballs or anything like that. So then we'll tighten those up gently with a spanner in a minute, and that's pretty much it. So as you can see, if I loosen off the rifle a little bit out of here, you can see I've got a gap here between the bottom of the objective end of the scope and my barrel. If you're mounting anything and you find that it is touching the barrel, it will cause accuracy problems. So you may have to go to a medium or a high set of scope rings to get the scope higher up off the rifle. That's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments or questions, please don't hesitate, leave them in the comments down below, and please like and subscribe. And yeah, until next time, stay safe and get your outside on.